So, continuing on from part 3, we're going to do the Origins of Cora. In 10 AD, two of the people that created creatures and Mr. Strange and the Fearless Beast all went down a mountain to see the Greek god Poseidon and his two sons and his sons. But he signed, but also being the son called Cora, or originally called Siftotis. Siftotis, later on known as Cora, and of course they decided to join the to protect Atlantis. But Sentfotin wasn't very sure about that. But he agreed with his father's plan. "18 days later, Cora was underneath a cave and found a buried treasure. This led him to a path of being the bad guy we all know today. We currently in the timeline, and still to this day, the timeline. However, one of Poseidon's armies looked at him and pointed out, "Thief!" He didn't realize he actually stole that item. And so he ran off. Make sure that person never find him. But he did, and wanted to give him back. But he refused. Decided not agree to do so. So, years went by and we enter 14 AD. And the creators of these creatures want to figure out how to do it. How to protect Atlantis. And so they fire off an idea. But Cora had an idea with the whole item in his hand. Decided to show him to his father, King Poseidon. And he knew about it, and he decided to, and he asked where he'd get it from an underground cave. And he told him that item must stay in that underground cave. And of course, this wakens up two species called the gators. Now, you don't know the two species, the gators, of course, a species, of alligators, which which is part of the species of creatures of Grumpus. With this new plan, Poseidon told him to escape Atlantis and make sure that Cora gets back the item. So they escape. Cora and King Poseidon have a long conversation, and this will continue on for many years. For many years, they planned their own ways to protect the Atlantis from a great, powerful evil. And in that many years, Cora kept on stealing and stealing and stealing, until he realized stealing stuff for those many years was getting kind of tiring. And of course, he went back to Atlantis. In those many years in between 14 AD and 1100 AD, he decided to go back to Poseidon. But there's one problem. Poseidon, in those many years, was dying of a sickness. And so he wanted to figure out how to deal with it. Meanwhile, they have an idea. They decided to create another creature. And that's how we got to Lavender in 1266 AD. And in those times, they decided that Lavender would be protected of the universe. So, in 1280 AD, after he's been finished, he decided to not steal stuff for his father, but to steal abilities. So Korath had changed his name, changed it to Korath, and since then, him stealing abilities is what he should do. In 1381 AD, this causes problems in the crazy old world. So they had a plan to actually stop Cora from doing this. But they don't. So went up to down to the secret cave to meet the gators. And they figure out they were nice people. They didn't cause any harm. And so, in 1400 AD, by using one piece of spark, they grow the size of it and decided to add another member of the Gators, Grumpus. But this will go a problem because they figured out Grumpus had easily gone aggressive and escaped through the place of the Gators. And so, in 1401 AD, a year after he was created, he set out to wait and think of his plan. And he figured out he had to go to the same planet that the creators of these creatures were in. And so, moving up he had an idea to destroy the planet. Unfortunately, the aliens that were there, some of them had escaped. Some of them were gone by the hands of Grumpus. And so, they waited several years to actually create a creature that doesn't easily go evil. This was also going to be a failure. And so, in 1508 AD, they decided to create a creature called Black Man, and he was supposed to be the head of the crazy universe, but realized later on this will ultimately fail. And so, we continue on our next video in part 4 by how Black Man became the evil Shadow Man, and what happened to the years after, before the crazy dimension was destroyed, and how the creatures made it to the dimension of the humans. I am Matt the Comic Guy, and